So the foundation for this radical reorientation that I've been speaking about, and you notice all these 5 tenets I've already really discussed in some way, shape, or form over the last 2 days, because whenever I speak about the teachings, the 5 tenets are always part of it. Even if I'm not speaking directly about them, they're inherent in the teaching themselves, so you recognize. So the foundation for this kind of radical reorientation is called clarity of intention. So the clarity of intention refers to, when I was speaking, I think yesterday or the day before, about destroying ambivalence. You remember when I was speaking about coming to the end of ambivalence? So it means the self no longer being divided. So that means you, as the choosing faculty, you as the one who's choosing, making the choices, come to the end of the ego's relentlessly ambivalent position in relationship to time, and in relationship to the present, and in relationship to the future. So clarity of intention means the individual has come to that point in his or her own evolution as an individual, where they have finally come to the decision to line themselves up behind that which they've realized is more important than anything else, once and for all. So once and for all is the important part of it, because now it's not an experiment, it's not something you are checking out, it's something you are going to do and you are going to finish or die trying. You understand? That's a very different attitude. See my point? So that's the clarity of intention. It's the first one. And in this teaching, everything, and I mean everything, and I mean everything, and I mean everything, is completely and totally dependent upon the intention of the individual, which is you. Who are you? Who's ever hearing me say these words is who you are. So the success of the universe project, which is what this teaching is all about, is entirely dependent upon you, because you are the only one that there is. The second tenet, which is the law of volitionality. Well, the law of volitionality says in order for you to liberate all the energy of the authentic self in yourself, you have to be, you as the choosing faculty, have to be willing to take responsibility for the karmic consequences of everything that has happened to you in the past. So the way you become a liberated individual is you accept the karmic consequences, you accept the consequences of your own karmic history. Why? The only reason you do it is because you want to be a liberated person. And then you break the chains of the past. It's all your problem now. No matter how you got in, how all these things happened, and a lot of it may have not been your fault. Because you want to be free, you take responsibility for all the karmic consequences of what happened, right? That may be a very difficult thing to do. But because you want to be free, because you've come to that point in your own evolution where you have no choice anymore, there's no other option, you have to take it all on so you can be a vehicle for the authentic self. You're willing to make any effort you need to make in order to do it. Does that make sense? Because there really isn't anything else for you to do at that point. There is no other option, and there's no way out. It has to be done. To whatever degree that you're willing to do that, you are going to evolve and you're going to become a strong, dignified human being, right? Who has respect for himself or herself. To whatever degree you are unwilling to do that, you will not. There's no way you could. Because the problem is, a lot of people that have higher state experiences, but they don't want to bear the weight of their own karma. You can't escape from your own karma just through higher states of consciousness. That doesn't go away. It's got to be dealt with. It has to be taken on. So you have to take responsibility for it. And taking responsibility for it means you make the effort to become conscious. Do you get my point? So the way you make the effort to become conscious is through the third tenet of the teaching, and the third tenet of the teaching is called facing everything and avoiding nothing. Facing everything and avoiding nothing is, in the way that I speak about it, I call it the ultimate form of spiritual practice, because all spiritual practice in mystical schools is all one way or the other about the cultivation of awareness. It all boils down to the end. All spiritual practice in mystical traditions is, in one way or the other, all about the cultivation of awareness. So the teaching of facing everything and avoiding nothing, and just think about it, it doesn't say face a few things and avoid a few others. It's quite profound when it says face everything and avoid nothing. That's quite an extreme practice, quite an extreme position to take. The only way you can take responsibility for the karmic consequences of your history and for everything that you may have done acting out of ignorance and selfishness is through the practice of the third tenet, facing everything and avoiding nothing. When? Now. It's a facing everything and avoiding nothing always now. There's never any other time to do it. Facing everything and avoiding nothing always now.